Hello community, welcome back to JinZ channel. Today we're gonna talk about my latest EP called Irreversible. I will walk you through my thought process while making this EP, which, spoiler alert, wasn't supposed to be one. It was never supposed to be an EP. It all started with the track called My Philosophy. It was meant to be a solo music track. Okay? It explains my point of views regarding some aspects like how I judge other people's music or how I view life in general. After like my grandparents passing, I thought about some pretty dark stuff, honestly. Like, oh my god, death can get me and anyone in my family at any time, at any point. And the whole point of that, description of the music track of My Philosophy is, to let me be immortal. How can I be immortal? Well, just like how artists, just like how musicians, how their names are still mentioned today after they died. They are still spiritually immortal, and that's what I want. So in the description of my philosophy, I explained my motive behind, collaborating with people and doing this, doing that on Newgrounds, all that kind of stuff, creating, memories and all that. It truly wasn't my first and foremost motive. Death was not my first and foremost motive to collaborate with other people. It was more of, let's be honest here, I wanted fame. Okay, I wanted more numbers. Let's be honest here. It's only after, their passing that motive is pushed to an upper limit. You know what I mean? Like an upper ceiling. So yeah, that's how the track my philosophy is made. It sounds pretty soothing. Let me just play this back for you. It's pretty calm. It has two distinct parts. The first one is very soothing, and the second part is basically a piano solo. So yeah, two very distinct parts. The first half, or in my mind, was that it would be, well. First of all, when I started the project, I didn't really have this whole, the whole description or the whole point of the track in mind yet. That I have explained to you previously. I just opened a new project and mess around with chord progressions, and that's how the first half is formed. It has some pretty cool progressions here and there, and then I ran to a wall. I don't know the expression. I ran out of ideas on how to continue the track, because I can't I can't make 3 minutes of just cool chords. I don't have that. I'm not that creative. Okay, so I switched up to this sweet sounding melody that I sung while driving. A lot of melodies of mine are made while I was singing while driving, and I thought it fit the track. I thought that it fitted the track, so I put it in, and I tried to figure it out how to transition from this part to that part, and so we have that short little segment where it got a little quiet and goes up more and more. And then there's the producer tag, which is the bass that goes do 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 do. That is my producer tag, unironically. Do 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 do. What else do I? What else? Oh yeah, right. Before, I would say the prequel to the prequel, right? Okay? Before the track even opened, before the track even, before I even opened the project, this track was inspired by a challenge posed by one of my Discord friends, asking me to basically make a track without drums. They challenged me to make a track without drums. So I did it. I did just that. No drums at all. And yeah, that's how the first supposedly solo track was formed. No drums, and with some pretty deep, or personally deep motives. Okay, and that's that. That is that for the first track. That there is zero plan for make. I didn't even want to make an album in 2025. If you know me, then I have already half retired from making music. I've got life. I've got a job now. I just got a new job last week. Still, I got life, and honestly, I don't have much inspiration or motivation to make music anymore. So I didn't plan to make any albums or EP at all. My philosophy stops there. It was at a halt. Done. No more. Until the second track. that's basically the second track. It loops. Okay, that's basically the whole track, and then it loops once. I initially made this for, I think, one of Newgrounds. Also, it's quite loud outside because there's the fucking construction. It's still going. It's still going. Like it. Like I had this trouble. I had this noise trouble since I was streaming Newgrounds final showdown, final showdown, and it's still going. The construction is still going. They are still building a house. Anyway, the plan for the second track was that I made this track for Newgrounds competition. I forgot which, but if I recall correctly, it was like the underdog competition. I made this track for that competition. I still has no plan or idea to make an EP yet. This is supposed to be my second solo track. Okay? And I try to make it upbeat, uplifting, and you can hear how the contrast between this and the previous one. It, like, you can tell that they weren't supposed to be related. They weren't supposed to be. Okay? They were supposed to be completely different. And then I used two instruments, and then goes back to this very soothing break, and then I ran into a problem. I ran out of ideas. Initially, after the break, there will be the vocal sample, the vocal chant sample. Hey, will lead into a second chorus, and you would have this very weird audio shape, like this one, like this the first chorus, and this the break, and this the second chorus. This was the plan for the diver's wish, but I ran out of ideas. I copied the structure of the first chorus and just changed the melodies, but it didn't have the same vibe. It didn't have the same vibe. So either I have to copy some of the first chorus melody and switch up some beats, switch up on some beats, or I give up. And I gave up. So I copy and paste it and just call it a day, pretending it were being a loop. Yes, I still feel guilty of that, but still I copy and paste it and upload it. Oh man, that was a terrible decision. Now that I think about it. Also, the title has a pretty interesting story behind it. No, not really a story, but just a quick, not a quick. I had some thought put into the title and its description. What was the different description anyway? There it is. So the title was a reference to how the instruments sounds, or how the melody sounds. Like how, it sounds like something you would hear in an underwater world, or in a sea, in a game about sea, okay, about all the oceans. So I gave the title Diverse Wish, which is, diverse, yeah. The diverse wish is to go deeper and deeper, and explore the oceans, explore the depth of the oceans. And then I got, I got, how should I put this? What was the word? What is the word? Okay, so I looked up on the internet, and apparently the word for this phenomena is to be a poser, or yeah, to be fake, But yeah, I was pretending to be a deep character, so I wrote, "Oh, don't look into your past. The void will stare back at you." When the divers was exploring the ocean, they want to go deeper and deeper into the void, right? Well, that is my, in my view, that can be a metaphor for the past. They want to always go deeper and deeper into that past, and it just gets darker and darker. And what this two sentences want to deliver, the message that they want to deliver is that don't go too deep, or else it will consume you. The ocean will consume you. The past will consume you. That is the message that I want to deliver, and that's it. That's the whole lore of Diverse Wish. There's nothing much to it. Like, it's not as deep as my philosophy, Incompleteness, the consequence of greed. Let's have a listen. and that's basically the track. Now, initially, as I was saying, initially, when I made this lo-fi-ish track, I wasn't thinking about giving it a title yet. I was thinking I need something to contrast this music track. 982. This was the submission. This was a submission for Madness Day, 2025, by the way, and it was very loud. It was very loud. So I made this particular soundtrack as a contrast to this one. No plan for the title, no plan for this description that you are reading here, no plan for not even a plan for that poem. I just made it as a contrast to this track to show the world, to show my fans that no, noise is not the only thing that I can make. I can make plenty of genre. I mean, I can't make every genre, but still plenty of them. So this track was made as a response to this. So there is not a single meaning behind this. Just this track alone. No title, no description. It's just an NPC. It was supposed to be just an NPC lo-fi music track. That's it. That is it. There is not a single effort put into it. There is minimal mixing effort put into it. Not a single movement, not a single, compositions, creativeness. There is nothing. It was made as a calm track, as opposed to this exciting track. That's it. That was the point of making this. But I still have to give it a title. God damn it! I can't just give it a. I can't just upload it on Newgrounds and call it Untitled /124 or something. I can't. I have to give it a name. So what can be a better fitting name than a pathetic past, a pathetic, world view? So I inserted myself again. I inserted my lore, my story, my life into the track again for the third time. And it is a coincidence. Up until this point, up until the point of releasing, it is still a coincidence that I put my life lore into a music track. I thought, oh yeah, this track is very sad and very calm, so I gotta put something very sad. What's sadder than my past? What is sadder? Nothing. So I put it like that. And I thought for a while. I thought for some hot minute. This could work. This could work. Like in the past, I did that and I did this for fame, but now I have none of it. I got no motivation. I got no. In the past, I didn't have music skills or production skills, or I didn't have that much recognitions, or I did have recognitions. I just didn't have music skills. Production skills. This video has zero script, so I'm just saying as I remember it. Okay, so all of the information in this video may not be 100% accurate. I'm still rendering the information in my mind right now, like what happened in my past. So I made this one because in the past I yearn for, you know, the the top spot, or the Hall of Fame and all that. So I made a lot of tracks, and I released a bunch of them, a bunch of poor quality tracks, to, respectively. Yeah, the first line that it implies that I didn't, I would, go to FL Studio every single day. Every single day I go into FL Studio to bump out tracks. And the second line implies that, oh yeah, the second line is interesting. The second line is interesting because it is a reference to that point in time in my career where I was soft locked. Soft locked. I call it, as I call it. By after attempting to recreate the music, the song "Bury the Light," I tried to recreate it. I thought that I had known everything about rock music, about heavy metal, about basically. I thought that I had known everything about music productions. So I tried to recreate something just like "Bury the Light," but I can't. I couldn't, and I felt like I was living, a fake facade. I had been putting a fake facade, and for years, I thought to myself that I was on the top. I have the authority to judge other people's music, but in the last two lines was implying my career in 2023 or 2023, when many of my tracks was getting front paged after one another. So I was like, holy shit, I am on a grind. I am known in the community. I must bump out more quality music. That was my mindset back in the day. The last line implies that now that I look back, if I didn't have so many front pages back in 2023, then I wouldn't have been so hopeful about the future. I could have just stayed underground, you know what I mean, like unknown. And when there are so many front pages for me, there were pressures and stuff like that. Small fun fact: I've been writing poems. I've been keen on writing poems lately, like for news and all that, like this one or this one. Yeah, I've been writing poems. I've been practicing too. It may not be the greatest. I'm still trying to rhyme and using rhyme zone and all that. Still, I'm trying. After a few weeks, I looked back at my playlist. I didn't have many solo tracks this year, but mostly just collabs. This was the first ever solo track of mine in 2025, by the way. So I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 solo tracks this year. And I thought to myself, there's a pattern. There's a pattern in the first 3 solo tracks. I put the story of my life into them. Should I connect them? So yeah, that's how the EP was born. Now I will talk about the 4th track, Consciously Incompetent. Now, this track was made with the intent of making EP. So let's hear how it sounds. And that is the fourth track. Haven't listened to it. Do you notice a pattern? Do you notice anything at all? It loops. It loops just like the second track. It loops. I mean, at least it almost loops. As for the second track, I basically copy and pasted. But for the fourth track, I did some variations in the second loop. Or technically the first loop. So it was supposed to be a mirror. It was supposed to mirror the second track. Why? Because I noticed something among the descriptions of the first three tracks. The first one, my philosophy, talks about my life. The third track, Incompleteness, talks about me again. However, the second track, Diverse Wish, it doesn't talk about anyone. It is an advice. It is an advice to not look into the past. It doesn't direct to anybody. It is a general advice to not look back. So I mirror it. The fourth track, the even numbered track, will mirror each other. Okay, so Diverse Wish is an advice. So should the fourth track. So before I put up the project to make the fourth track, I did some research as to what went wrong with my career, and I found a chart about how consciousness and competence correlate each other. There are 4 levels of these correlations, and the third level being consciously incompetent. I'm at the third stage right now. I'm at consciously incompetent stage right now. So I put that as the title, and I put that as the general theme of the track. What's the theme? Is to mess around and still make a audible music. Okay, I mess around with the tempo, I mess around with the drums, I mess around with the synthesizers, fast tempo, pretty chaotic drums, I mean at least chaotic percussions, and then distorted synthesizers. I still managed to make it audible, just to prove that yes, I am conscious, but I still am incompetent. I am conscious about what I produce, but I'm still not confident about my skills. That is the point of the fourth track, and its description implies, again, to mirror the second track, that we shouldn't look back, and we can't relive it. Okay, like this is something about what people would call a peak, right? Once anybody reach their peak, they can't go back. They can't relive what they have experienced, and that's what that is my message. In 2023 I had a bunch of front pages, but now I can't. I am unable to, because I am not confident about my music. Therefore, my music don't sound confident, and my music sound naturally not good. Even though there are some thoughts put into it, it still sounds very unnatural. I believe that the general public, or a generic listener would not listen to this. Also, it can't be helped that the tracks are very, very lore heavy. Like it's very. One criticism regarding this whole EP is that it is too personal. Okay, so it doesn't have it can't reach to other people. It can't help reach other people's feeling, or people listen to music to relax, but when they listen to my music they have to think about my life. So maybe this is just my speculation. Okay, I haven't interviewed anybody, but I speculate that people would not be comfortable listening to this kind of music with such a personal story told in it. So yeah, that was the point of the track, to be as chaotic as it may be, and I try to fix it. I try to fix the mix, try to fix the compositions, try to do all that, Also, there's a laughter track. I just put it there because it sounds cool. It doesn't have any meaning. It does not have any meaning. Don't try to theorize it. It sounded cool. Okay? Don't try to theorize, oh, the first track has a laughter track and the fourth track has too? What happened? No. I put it there because it sounded cool. And chaotic. Hey. I don't remember why I put a laughter track in my philosophy. It's been months, But for the laughter tracks in the 4 tracks, they didn't have any meaning. Definitely no meaning at all. There's really not much to talk about the 5th track, honestly. And the video's already too long, so I won't play back the audio. But basically, it was meant to be the final track of the EP, so I have to conclude it in some way. Okay? And here's what I found interesting. I booted up the project and made the first I think the first 4 minutes. Yeah, I made the first 4 minutes, and I tried to play back over and over again, and I thought, man, this is so weak for a final track. They was so weak, and I wanted to publish it before 2025 ends. That just so that there's some pseudo meaning behind it, like, oh, new year, new me, and all of the stories can be forgotten, and every memory in the past can be thrown out the window, like that. There's some pseudo meaning behind me releasing the whole EP before 2025. What was I going to say? And then I stumbled upon something. I never had this in mind. I never had this until I stumbled upon the 5 stages of grief. 5 stages of grief. I don't know if it's fate. I don't know if it's like I don't know if it was even decided from the start. But if you look at the track by one, my philosophy. I mean, let's list out the 5 stages of grief. Okay. What are they again? Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. So far I have 4 released four released track in the EP. Okay, and 3 of them fit these stages. The first one is denial, which is my philosophy. Why is it denial? Because if you if you try to stretch it, then the whole premise of the track is me defending myself for my decisions that I made in my career. I try to defend myself. That is kind of denial. And then we have the bargaining, which is pretty suitable for incompleteness, the consequence of greed, which is me looking back at my past and wishing that, oh, had I known that, had I known this, I would have done that, I would have done this. That's pretty much bargaining. And then we have depression. Depression is to realize that, oh, I'm not that good. I know my stance, but I'm still not that good. I realize, oh my god, the I've been putting on a fake facade for so long. That is pretty much depression. I I don't know if anger is suitable with diverse wish, but yes, that is pretty. That's a wild coincidence. Let me tell you, wild. And eventually, I have to make the final track to sound as acceptance as much as possible. I try to extend the track. Why? I want to make a very long track as a response to my whole career of making short length music. Well, except for the long collab thing, that's an exception. But still, most of my music doesn't even reach 6 minutes or 5 minutes. I will say, if they are very short, they are very typically short. So I want to make something much longer as a response to that. As a response to, yes, I can make this too. And I want to put aside my past. I want to put aside everything that I have been through. At least that was my thought anyway. It may not be logical, but that, yeah. Initially, as I have said, initially this track was 4 minutes long, right? And when I play, when you listen to this part, and then this part, they have different tempo, they have different vibe, they have pretty much they're pretty much different melodies. So when a listener, let's say, want to listen to this on repeat, they would be shocked to hear how different the end and the intro and the outro sounded, because that is what I wanted for the final track. Irreversible. The track itself cannot be reversed. I mean, I didn't really think of a better title, but the point is, the track itself cannot be replayed, and the history cannot be reversed. I cannot go back to my peak. I cannot go everything that I have said before, that up until this point. I cannot. It is irreversible. That is the point of the first 4 minutes of this track. Okay? And then I found out the 5-stage upgrades and blah blah blah. And then I realized, oh, I gotta make this sound final, more final, and I gotta make it sound like I have accepted my defeat. I have accepted that my career had failed, and there's no way to fix it. There is not a single way to fix my career anymore. So I should have just stayed retired or unknown and never judge people again. So the interlude was kind of dragging, so I tried to put a dubstep part here, so that so that the listener can gain some retention. Yeah, that's just vocal decks based sound. I want to end on a good note, because if you follow me frequently, you would notice that I have this quirky little melodies that I called that represents me. This is the foundation, by the way. I found the melody is very interesting, so I used it as my theme song as well. And the second one, And the third one, so yeah, the general rule for using the first very rule for using the melody is that it must lead to something else. It cannot be the final melody. It cannot be the chorus. But that's what I'm saying. It cannot be the chorus. It has to be a verse, a break, or something else. So yeah, I did that. I did just that. And that is the story behind how Irreversible EP was made. I hope you enjoy it. Leave a like, and stay tuned for the next video. Bye bye.